last week we got into a little bit of a controversy, actually, because of my comments regarding the regenerative properties of the female anatomy. I'm trying to put it delicately.
Nice.
And you know what? I'm just going to own up to a lot of people were upset. And I feel like maybe either I didn't communicate well or I mean, that wasn't my intention to say that, like, but you know what? I was wrong, okay? It's not my place. It's an antiquated thing. I mean, look, ultimately, I was just wondering how long it takes. Not to say that it's blasted forever. Regardless, a lot of people were mad at me, including Mike, the boyfriend of Lana from the Impaulsive podcast, who tweeted at me. He said, and I quote,
You'll put it up on screen.
He says, "Dear at H3H3 Productions, I saw your segment about Lana on today's upload. I'm not going to get into your disgusting rhetoric, as it's your brand to spew hatred disguised as comedy. But she retired 3 years ago. If you're going to call yourself a podcast host, at least do some research." What do you got? First of all, there's a lot obviously to unpack here, but what do you guys think about my brand being hate disguised as comedy?
I'd like to think that's not true.
I mean, it's a pretty bold statement, you know?
Yeah.
Hate? You think he means like hate as in like being a hater, or does he literally mean like you're a hateful person, like
I mean,
a racist bigot?
When he says spew hatred, I think it's that doesn't sound like, oh, you're a hater, bro. That sounds like you are a hateful person.
Yeah, that seems a little extreme.
I feel like from his perspective, probably being like Logan Paul's best friend, we've criticized Logan Paul, so that's probably what they think about us.
That we're just haters. Yeah, I guess from his perspective, you might say. Although Logan, previously, when they're discussing us, is pretty, like, cool. But Mike is always kind of making it. Mike is always, he's. Let me continue on. He actually has nice things to say about you, Hila. He says, also, shout out to Hila for being the voice of reason. So I agree with that. I mean, I was like, hey, you know what? At least he likes one of us. And homie with the long hair, Zach, get ready, saying he would never fuck a porn star. I seen your type, buddy. You would pay $5K to smell my girl's panties. Zach, what did you think about being on the receiving end?
Yeah.
I'm cool, bro. I don't want to do that. I don't want to smell your girl's panties. All I said was like I wouldn't have sex with her. Why do you got to attack me for that?
Well, hang on. All you said was that you wouldn't date or fuck a porn star.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is, and I think like that's not a controversial opinion. I mean, again, you are, and so Mike, he seems to be a little bit defensive, frankly, about the issue.
He does, and he also says to another person in the thread, I think, that like he doesn't care about good jabs at them, but like he expected us to do more research if we were going to talk about it so much. But it wasn't really a planned out segment. First of all, it was just kind of like you made a random joke, and then it became this whole conversation because I made it. I made a big deal out of it because it just happened at the moment. But it's not really something that we researched and planned to talk about.
Okay, but you know what I've done, Mike? Because you came at me. Guess what I've done? I've done my research now. And now let's talk about Mike and Lana. Because you want to throw shots, you want to be the big man. Hateful rhetoric. Do some research. Zach, sweet young golden Zach. If you go after sweet young golden Zach, you better meet me in the octagon, fool. Because I will drop that, what's that crazy headlock they do in MMA? There's one that's like the ultimate kill shot. The triple cross. The triple cross. Skull, bomb dive, death choke. I'm going to fuck you up, Mike.
With words.
I appreciate you
words.
defending me.
Oh, dude, nobody talks shit about Zach. And by the way, it was totally unwarranted. You didn't deserve that.
Thank you. Yeah, he was super off off his line.
Oh, but you said you didn't like him. Maybe that's why.
You did start it, Zach.
I don't like him.
But you're but hello, he's a public figure. You're entitled to not like him. Hello,
Zach.
dude. Welcome to the internet, Mike. People are entitled not to like you, you bitch. Guess who else doesn't like
he
you?
does.
Me. Let's talk.
He just blabbers his fucking mouth. All right.
Go ahead. Go off, Queen.
He just got like a lot of the time no frame of reference, and he just got to shut the fuck up. Quite frankly, because he's annoying.
There you go, Zach.
Wow.
Speaking his mind.
But Zach is also actually a fan of the Logan Paul channel.
Right.
I am.
So that hits harder.
Yeah.
Next. So somebody clapped back at Mike on Twitter. He said he didn't even say anything bad about Lana. Zach, the guy with the long hair, just didn't like you. Not everyone's going to be a fan. Go off, Anna. So what? He didn't know your girl didn't do porn anymore, and you expect everyone to know? Mike, I love your podcast, but I feel like this is kind of immature. Sorry, Shredder. I scared Shredder.
When did you make that alt, Zach?
Shut up. Anna 0282765 is not an alt.
It's an anagram.
How dare you? Mike responded, if you're going to speak confidently on a topic, do your research. That's it. Really?
We
really,
didn't,
I didn't
speak confidently about anything. The whole conversation was just us
Yeah.
questioning each other, really.
I don't recall being like,
Because it was just a random joke that Ethan made, and I was basically telling him, look, this may be a joke, but you may want to think about who it's going to appeal to.
so first of all, I want to point
that's
out,
all that was there, really. You didn't say anything bad about anyone.
I agree. I'm pure of heart and soul.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, Mike. You don't have to shit your gym shorts every time someone says they don't like
Gym
you.
shorts.
I like your
Never seen Zach fiery like
No,
this.
I
This is
love it.
insane.
Dude, you don't want to piss Zach off, bro. He'll fucking bring out the guitar hero.
And Zach is a zoomer. It's hard to piss him off.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want research? You want research, Mike? Let's start here. First of all, I find it interesting that you didn't take any issue with the fact that what I said about the regenerative properties of the female body. No, you didn't care about that. The only thing you cared about, Mike, was the insinuation that she's still having sex with other men for her profession. And so I find it very interesting that you focused on that. Yet, by the way, the main accusation in our podcast is that your whole crew is spreading COVID knowingly. And somehow the fact that I thought Lana was still doing porn was more obscene to you than the fact that you are personally spreading a deadly disease. Do you tell your guests, by the way, when they show up and sit a foot away from your uncovered mouth, that you were in contact with somebody who tested positive? You bitch. Back me up. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep
Bitch,
going.
Mike.
This is a heated episode.
Well, the guy's a fucking punk. You better do your research, bro. I'm not done yet. I'm not that angry. I just want to make it clear.
Okay.
just
It's a
having
shame
fun.
because we were just starting to say nice things about the poll, the LP,
I was
not the JP.
I think we were all starting to like Logan, but this whole
Yeah.
thing about with Tanner where he's like, I don't care. Hit me with that soundbite of Logan saying he doesn't care. Hit the clock, Dan. You have a clock sound effect? As we wait?
I think you do,
I
actually.
really just got tested.
That's
for it.
Jake. You don't have Logan?
I don't have Logan. I never pulled it.
Oh, my God.
Well, because we watched it.
Everything
like,
Mike said about you is true, Zach.
Can you grab Logan? Is that
Oh
possible?
man.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Logan said, when Tanner's like, yo, bro, I have COVID and I was hanging out with you. He was like, I don't give a fuck. And then the next day he does a podcast. So meanwhile, Mike is so upset that I didn't know that she retired 3 years ago. Retired. Okay. So maybe you can explain to me why she posted to her Pornhub account in April. That doesn't seem like retirement. Oh, Mike says, well, she's not having sex with other dudes. That's technically retirement. Okay, she's doing like she's with girls. She's doing solo stuff. I mean, that's still porn, dude. What am I? What are we splitting hairs here? Oh, if you're not taking a dick, then you're retired from porn. What?
I mean, we're not following that closely.
Yeah, I'm not. All I see, Mike, is that she's been #1 on Pornhub every time I go to beat off. And I'm like, wow, she's #1 all the time. So, like, it's pretty reasonable to assume that she's still making porn. And by the way,
She's a beautiful girl. I mean, that's just a compliment to her. I don't know why you get so... Like, this is all coming from the fact that she's that big in the porn industry.
yeah, she's huge. He should be. He's dating #1, but he got so. I think he's so insecure about dating a porn star that this small insinuation of which is like clearly a very reasonable mistake to make.
Yeah.
Is somehow he was so upset that I think he's just really insecure about the whole thing, and he doesn't want people to think like that threatens his masculinity, that she might be having sex with other men for her profession, and so he needs to make it very clear to everybody, no, she retired. And by retired, I mean she just doesn't have sex with other dudes, but she still makes porn actively all the time on her OnlyFans, so technically she's not retired. What does retired mean even in this context?
You better grab some of that Kirkland 2-ply because he's shitting his gym shorts, dude.
Wow. Wow.
Say no more. You know, it's funny because even on her OnlyFans, as recently as like May, she was posting videos of her with another dude. And yes, we went to her OnlyFans and did research for this segment because Mike, like you said, if you're going to speak, you better know, bitch. So yes, she was even posting dudes with videos with other dudes as recently as May. It was an old unpublished video,
Right.
but she's still posting it.
Right.
So excuse me for insinuating that. But let's keep going, Mike, because I've done my research. What?
We keep going?
Oh, there's more, baby. There's more. Now, Mike. Let's talk about disgusting rhetoric. Let's see what Mike has said about his own girlfriend and women in general. Listen to Mike say it for himself, and you tell me disgusting rhetoric when you hear it.
Speak for the commenters and stuff. Does it in any way bother you
Not
that
at
your
all.
girlfriend is married or has done anal sex with large black men on camera?
That she's married.
Does that bother you?
All right, so two separate questions. So how do you want me to? Where do you want me to start?
I don't care.
All right, so the
Oh, by the way, he's 35 and he was born in January, so he's old as fuck. He's older than me. He's older than me.
Aren't
By
you
like 5
35?
months. He's 35. We're both.
You're both 35.
Yeah, but he's older than me by 4 months.
Okay, but why are you calling him old as fuck?
Because he's old as fuck. He's older than me. He's the oldest loser on YouTube.
No, that's a reach.
He's the oldest
You're the
loser.
same age.
No, he's 4 months older.
That's the same age.
He's 4 months older. I'm just saying. He's
In
the,
There's a
adult
4-month
life,
period
that's
of
the same
time where
age.
he's older.
But yeah, we're on YouTube. This
Only
is an adult life.
kids say like, "Oh, I'm 6.5."
I'm just saying, technically, he's older than me. He's old as fuck. I'm not the oldest, biggest, dumpiest loser ever.
Okay.
Yeah, but Ethan doesn't shit his gym shorts. Mike does.
Watch this.
Is that something that actually happens, Zach? Are you making
Yeah,
No,
Shit your
he's
gym
just
shorts?
the type of dude to shit his fucking
okay.
gym
Okay,
shorts.
Got it.
And in this hypothetical situation, does the turds like fall out the pant leg while he's running?
Yeah, it's a fucking
Does it come out through
watery,
the mesh?
steamy.
Oh no.
Whoa. Wow.
Anyway, let's listen. Talking
Throwing
about
them in
hateful,
gym clad.
Okay.
hateful rhetoric. Let's listen to Mike.
the marriage thing,
I don't care. My girl's naked on the internet too.
the marriage thing, is a different topic. Let's start with the anal sex with the black man.
And his name is tattooed on her ass.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the second one.
Logan's so uncomfortable. He's just out.
I think this might have got too hot for LP. He's gonna sit back. He's gonna sit back. All right, ready for this? I'm gonna lay this out for you. The shit that I did before I got on this scene
Yeah.
was so fucking dirty and so fucking bad
What did
that
you do?
there is nothing.
I don't know,
that-
but like, I don't know how he's gonna talk. I mean, I couldn't even imagine. It sounds bad, but that's not even what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Pretty much
Dude,
anyone
What?
that
To the benefit of Mike, I will give him credit. He is a recovering drug and alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
then
so-
I have nothing to comment on that. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering. I don't know anything.
But
about
let's not get sidetracked. Let's focus on the hateful
What I
rhetoric.
fuck with now could have done in their past that would change the way I look at them as a person. Nothing, bro.
Right.
Oh, I did. Sorry, I fucked up. The question was, how do you feel about your girlfriend having sex with other men on camera? He was more vulgar, obviously, in the way he phrased it, but I'm trying to keep it PG-13.
Point. Do you know how many girls in this city have fucked their way to the position they're currently in and didn't get paid $1 for it? This
I mean, that's kind of misogynistic. Mm-hmm. How many girls in this city have fucked their way into the position they're in? That seems like a kind of fucked up statement to make. It's a little bit hateful towards women. If I was looking closely, but here he continues.
It's just not really. Yeah, I don't really see why even make that comparison, and the fact that women had to do that is also a big part of the Me Too movement that is hopefully going to change all that.
Eli, he goes on to say,
like, women weren't happy to do that.
No, Mike, no, it's not a.
And no, it's not a lot of successful women too either. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, well, here, Eli, listen, he goes on.
very big Brazzers contract on the table to restart in the next month. She's not doing it.
Wow.
So she actually is done.
Do you think you would be able to stomach it if she was actually like
No,
going to
so
work,
no.
doing porn, then coming back home to you? No, that'd
Absolutely
be
not.
rough.
So
Absolutely not. The man Mike is not down, and for what Zach, you said you wouldn't want to do that. He came at you. Mike himself has said that he wouldn't do it. I don't see where's the problem, but listen what he says next.
So obviously, you know, I've had flings with other
Women?
pretty big adult actresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't go the same distance as Lana has, and we didn't have the same, you know, feelings for each other.
Emily's
but they were,
at a different place in her life.
for sure. But the reason is because they are still very
Right.
active in the scene. And so, like, yo, she has a past. She took a whole bunch of fucking dicks, just like every other fucking girl in this city. Hers are
What?
on camera.
I'm not sure.
And I think it takes a very specific man to be okay with that shit. I said it on our show the other day. If you compared her bodies to my bodies,
Oof, yeah.
holy shit, bro.
Not to mention that-
Holy shit, I have
You fucked homeless women,
horrible,
crackheads.
bro. I used to do terrible fucking things. So
That sounds. I just don't know.
Something to be proud of.
Yeah, I don't know how to play. It doesn't sound like he's proud of it.
Well,
But
he wasn't proud of it.
But he
yeah,
says
but-
he said, quote, she's taken a ton of dicks like every other girl in the city.
Yeah.
he's just joking, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, bro, if you're gonna throw shots, I mean, damn,
know,
that sounds a lot more hateful and misogynistic than anything I said, which was a simple question of the regenerative and elastic properties. I'm really a pursuit of knowledge without any hateful intent, Mike. Then, of course, Keemstar suddenly loves Mike. As soon as Mike calls me out on Twitter, Keemstar is suddenly Mike's best friend, which is just so funny
believe it.
because actually what's funny is Keemstar has actually talked a lot of shit about Mike, but all of a sudden, Keemstar goes, Mike, you just worry about your happiness. All of a sudden, he's like a self-help guru.
Yeah.
People are always going to tear you down, but you are winning. I have criticized you more than almost anyone on the internet, but I respect your hustle, and I just want you to know that. Good guy, Keemstar.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's about Mike. But then, of course, Mike has to respond because, and now it's all good, feel good, love, powwow, shitting on Ethan. Appreciate that, Keem. I'm not mad at all, honestly. This is just pro to pro criticism. I'm not perfect at research either, but if I'm going to dive balls deep into a topic, I hope to at least understand the core points of said topic. He missed the mark today. Bro, first of all, I wouldn't consider myself a pro, and I don't know what the fuck you are. You're a professional coattail rider. Like, seriously, what the fuck? Like, he's so self-congratulatory. And he missed the mark today. Oh, man. I let Mike down.
I'm so like, again, the mark was specifically just not knowing that she was quote retired.
That's what I missed.
Because to
in
us,
what
the
way is she
conversation was
retired?
completely different.
Yeah, he took his only takeaway really was that
We were actually under the assumption that she's still doing the work that you see around the internet a lot, right? So, fine, we should have known better, but we were under that assumption. And to us, like, the interesting conversation is when you date someone who's doing that work, what is that like?
he had no comment on that.
But they're not actually in that situation either.
Yeah, but like the misunderstanding, considering the fact she's posting to her Pornhub account and her OnlyFans actively, I mean, again, for him to get so wild about the fact that I missed the mark today by my lack of research is weird. And he's clearly just super insecure about it. With that being said, you know, I do want to actually, I'm not done. Here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not even done. Like, because I wanted to make sure I did all the proper research.
Yep.
You know, so that I could really make him proud of me. I don't want to miss the mark again.
The first 2 times, like, I thought, like, no way I'm gonna.
She's
like,
talking
date
about the first 2 times she had sex with Mike.
this guy or keep having sex with him because it was just so bad.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, this is so awkward and like horrible.
we tried to not force it, but it was like in shit.
Interesting. He couldn't please her. I wonder if that has anything to do with the insecurities. Well, at least I may have been onto something, right? Like, I mean, you have performance issues when you, as a man, trying to follow up, because not just like the people she's had sex with, but she is an experienced woman.
Well, she's a professional.
She's a professional sex haver. If I would be intimidated, right? And so, like, I don't feel it. So obviously, you know, the guy was having some performance issues. She was like, "Oh, this sex is so awful," you know. But anyway, he goes on to say, "Let's see what Mike says here. Just doing my research, my due diligence."
Average person, like the average person would be like, would be like, "Oh my god, like she's been with all these guys before me. Like, how do I measure up?" You know what I'm saying?
You mean what I said? And then to get on your high horse on Twitter and judge me? You just literally said the average person would say that.
As long as if she's telling me after our sex that it was incredible and that like, and I'm asking her what I can change.
Anyway, any thoughts? Any summaries? Did I do good? How did we do? Was my research?
I mean,
thorough?
after seeing all of that, I mean, I don't necessarily feel bad for him, but I mean, I think you're right that I think his snapping at you was rooted in a little bit of insecurity, like you said, and I don't know. I feel a little bad for him. This is probably something he struggles with. It might be an issue in their relationship. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe that's too far to even speculate about.
Well, I think that if you're gonna date a porn star, you just gotta, because like he's obviously pressuring her, but maybe in directly, because he's saying if you go back to doing this, then it's over. And so, look, that's her profession. She might want to do that. And if you're not willing to do it with her, then she's not being able to deliver the full experience to the fans that like her content. So I do feel like that's a kind of an unfair stipulation. It's like if you're going to date a porn star, you've got to be ride or die. You go with the whole package, right? And so he obviously has this kind of macho, insecure thing about like being cucked or whatever. Because it's kind of what it is. Like another dude fucks your girl and then comes home to you. That's the life that you kind of sign up for.
All I can say is I want a full-fledged apology from Mike to the H3 podcast.
What about?
Yeah, what would you like him to apologize for, Zach?
Shitting his gym shorts. And
No, but
being
first of all,
not doing his research.
Yeah, he didn't do his research. First of all,
But
by
you
the
did
way,
say you don't like him, so
I do not like him.
but he's
So-
I want an
entitled to his
apology
opinion.
for that.
Yeah, why should Zach apologize for not liking him?
But what is he apologizing for to Zach?
You know, he accused me of lack of research, but in the same tweet, he refers to Zach as homie with the long hair. It could have taken him 3 seconds to figure out Zach's name, unless his goal, of course, was to be disrespectful, which leads back to the original point of the criticism, which he laid at me, which is spreading hate. So which is it, Mike? Are you doing bad research? Are you being hateful towards Zach?
Yeah.
So you need to tell me which one it is. and then apologize for the one it isn't. That's what he owes us an apology for.